So, you ever stop and think about what happens when an AI gets it wrong? I mean, who's actually responsible? That's exactly what we're jumping into today. This whole hidden world of AI accountability.
I'm sure you've heard this one before, right? Something goes sideways, you get a bizarre movie recommendation, or worse, your loan application gets rejected out of the blue. And what's the reason? Oh, the algorithm did it. It's become the standard answer for, well, pretty much everything.
But here's the thing. It sounds like an explanation, but it really isn't. It's a phrase that does the exact opposite. It's like this magic wand that just waves away responsibility. Suddenly, nobody's at fault. The AI is just this mysterious, uncontrollable force. And that right there, that phrase, is the heart of the problem we really need to get into. Because every time we just nod and accept that as an answer, we're basically giving a free pass to systems that don't have to answer to anyone. And that's a big deal. And trust me, the consequences of this are very, very real. Think about it. You get trapped in some weird recommendation loop, or you get turned down for a job by some automated system with zero explanation. When those decisions feel like a brick wall, totally final, no way to challenge them, you stop trusting the app for sure. But it's bigger than that. You start losing faith in the whole company, the whole institution that put that system in place.
So what's the fix? Well, it's not as simple as slapping a help button on it and calling it a day. This needs a much deeper fix. It's about completely rethinking how we even approach design from the very beginning.
Okay, so there's this old way of thinking, right? That responsibility is, I don't know, a problem for the legal team, something you bolt on at the end. But the new view is totally different. It sees responsibility as part of the system's DNA. It's an interaction structure. It's either designed in from the get-go, or, well, it's missing entirely. There's no in-between.
So what does that even mean, an interaction structure? It sounds kind of academic, but it's really just about asking some super practical questions. First up, can the user actually do anything about the decision? Is there a real way for them to challenge it or appeal it? You know, a button to click, a form to fill out, some kind of path forward?
Next question, is there a human in the loop? Like a built-in circuit breaker where a person has to step in, look at what the AI is suggesting, and give the final okay? Or is this thing just running on full autopilot with no oversight?
And this last one, this is maybe the most important of all. Can the system tell you why it did what it did? Not in some jumble of code, but in plain language. Because think about it, if the system itself can't even explain its own logic, how can we possibly hold anyone accountable for it?
And look, these aren't just some fuzzy, abstract ethics questions for a late-night debate. No way. These are design questions, through and through. The answers to these are literally built with buttons, user flows, and system architecture. This is 100% design territory.
Okay, so all of this leads to a really powerful new metaphor for designers. The job isn't to be the judge of every single thing the AI does. Instead, the job is to build the place where judgment can happen. It's about designing the courtroom.
We call this idea governing design. And it's all about that layer of a system where the AI isn't just suggesting a playlist. It's acting as a governor. It's making decisions with real-world impact. So the designer's job becomes defining its limits, its checks and balances, all the rules of the road.
And this quote just nails it. A courtroom architect isn't to blame for a jury's verdict, right? But they are responsible for making sure there's a witness stand, a judge's bench, and a jury box. In the same way, a designer isn't responsible for every AI output, but they are absolutely responsible for building the system of accountability around it. The process for appeals, the place for explanations, the whole shebang.
So how do you actually do this? How do you design the courtroom? Well, it comes down to a few key choices. 1. Are the AI's decisions final, or are they just suggestions for a human to look at? 2. Is there a clear way to disagree with the AI? Is that even allowed? 3. You have to make it obvious who or what is in charge, not hide it inside a black box. And finally, and this is so important, you have to make sure humans are meaningfully involved, not just there to check a box.
So when designers start thinking this way and start building these courtrooms into their systems, their job description totally changes. It gets a lot bigger.
Suddenly, titles like UX designer just don't quite cover it anymore. The work isn't just about making a button look nice or a flow feel smooth. It's about something much more profound. It's about deciding how power, meaning, and responsibility flow through an entire system.
You know, for years and years, the big question for any designer was basically, does it work? You know, is it easy to use? Does it solve the problem? But now, with these powerful AI systems, that question just isn't the most important one anymore. There's a new question that we all have to start asking.
And that question is this: did I design a system that just acts, or did I design a system that answers? One that doesn't just make a decision, but one that can be questioned, that can explain itself, and that lives inside a structure of responsibility that we designed. That right there is the new challenge and the real future of design.